The one who hates my name the most is my abuelita. Grandmother always dresses in cricket black, in luto for my grandfather, who died. She's 80-something, so old. Her skin looks like it's woven from brown cobwebs. She's got 2 braids wound so high on her head, they must have been growing during her whole life. Unlike my parents, abuelita's no dove. Like a little fighting rooster, she's got bravura to spare. Even though she's feisty, God guides her life. She closes most conversation with an afterbreath of Dios mediante, God willing. Since grandfather died, she lives with us. She came all the way from Aguascalientes, Mexico, on a norteño bus with only her prayer book, a photograph of grandfather, and her molcajete. A molcajete is a 3-legged grinding stone, carved of lava spit from some old volcano. It's hollowed and pitted, like a cupped hand scarred with acne. Abuelita uses it to grind chilies, for salsa and stuff. Takes longer than forever. Geez, she could do it with one zip of the blender switch. If that lava lump was mine, I'd chuck it out. This name, Arthur, it burns in my ears like poison. Since my Spanish is a little crippled from pouring the English on, Abuelita hisses her English to be sure I can't escape her point. Muele, muele, muele. She grinds her disfavor into me at every chance. The heat of peppers fills her voice as she pulverizes chilies extra vigorously for some tasty Mexican dish. If my new name were a chili pepper, she'd pulverize that too. At every chance, she turns Arturo on her tongue, like a pearl. What does she know, this thin-as-an-eyelash old woman from Hot Waters, Mexico? Man, this is L.A. To get by, you need American names. Apart from problems of names, here, there are problems of gangs. Like those saber-toothed tigers in pits of tar, kids get sucked into them for protection from invaders from other areas, or to have a place to go or something to do. Even some old guys, fathers with kids, are gang members. My father's the kind of person who removes his hat in a restaurant and blesses his plate of tacos. Not prime gang material. I hope I'm not either. Though the pull at school is pretty strong, I keep looking for something else to do. My friends live on my block. All the time they come over to hang out in Abuelita's kitchen. They're there now, dragged by their noses, by the pure power of chili dust and the tang of cilantro. When they enter, she pinches their cheeks and claims that they're muchachos muy lindos, and calls them by their true names, Jaime, Alicia, Raul. Hola, Lloyd. She aims a dripping spoon straight for Rat Nose. You love menudo. You taste. Abuelita speaks with such excessive bravura, each name scrapes my mind like the scritching claws of a feisty rooster. Geez, I say to myself, cringing with shame. But my friends seemed totally unfazed, even pleased. Raul's got a heart tattoo. Not real, just inked on. It's so big, it blues his muscle. Grinning, he pumps his tattoo for Abuelita. Caray, don't they remember? We peeled off those old names, like onion skins. Still, a worm of doubt squirms in my mind. My friends slump themselves over the arms of chairs like overcooked noodles and chat easily with my grandmother. Alice's eyes, at the sound of her real name, they flame up, bright with excessive sparkle. Por, please. One night, I'm struggling with geography homework, trying to map out where Marco Polo went. Hijos, did that guy get around? His route looks like some bad knitter's tangled yarn, like my sister Rosas when she's trying to learn. Through the blinds, my room's banded with moon. Everything's quiet. Even the crickets are sleeping. Then I hear something, mumbling, coming from Abuelita's room. Our rooms are back to back, like when you check your size against somebody else. My room's painted white, But Abues, it's totally Mexican pink, the color she believes the Mexican flag should be. Her walls dance with galacas, skeletons, of all sizes and materials: clay, wood, wire, paper mache. Abue thumbs her nose at death. Abuelita's talking to grandfather, muttering to the ghost of his photograph, I bet. Arturo, she says, holding that word in her mouth gently, like a highly breakable egg. She speaks Spanish only. He's a good boy, our Arturo. Just a little bit mixed up. One day, Dios mediante, he will recognize how good is your name. One day, he will know what it means. Arturo. He is me. He is you. And all before. And all to come. I hear a long, moist sigh then, like the breath of a tired tea kettle. I hear tears glaze her voice. I feel a blaze of embarrassment to be listening in on this private conversation. My heart feels squeezed out. Abuelita has known all along what I should have known. It's okay to be Arturo. What a mensohead I am. Un idiota de primera. To give up my name, it's to give up my family. To let myself, all of us, be erased to chalkboard dust. In this moment, my history holds me. Like a warm sarape, I feel tears come. In this moment, I want to hug Abuelita. I look out my window at the half moon, like a perfectly broken button. It's late, but I call my friends anyhow. Por please, I joke, come over. Ahora? Now, ahoritita. And they come, Ralph and Alice and James and Ratnose, all expectant and wondering what in diablos is going on. Before any of them can wedge a word in, I blurt, "We're taking back our names. We don't, we're borrados, blotted out." "You mean Ratnose is dead?" Ralph moans. "Such an excelente and redential name?" Ratnose lives. We'll call ourselves whatever we want. But those teachers can't make us into someone new. Those teachers, they must be formal. They're pretty cool with that, especially Alice. Little stars bloom in her eyes. Ralph's already itching for the morning, he says, so he can apprise Miss Pringle. I itch to apprise my family, now snoring deeper than zombies, especially Abuelita. We make a pact, right there in her chili-laden kitchen. On the most Mexican thing around, one by one, we place our hands on Abuelita's molcajete, ugly as a pockmarked thug. In solemn ceremony, we retrieve our names, ourselves. Into the bold night air, we say with utmost bravura, Raúl, Alicia, Jaime, Lloyd, Arturo. When we apprise her of our stand on names, Miss Pringle's pretty surprised, but she limps along with it. A result of the incident is that other kids go for their own name reclaimment. Not long after, they're selling t-shirts and plants and stuff at school to raise funds for a computer. I buy a little cactus, prickly to touch and with one red bloom. After school, I give it to Abuelita. "Ta-ta," she laughs when I spring it from behind my back. And she hugs me with the gift between us. But somehow we don't get poked. "Ay, Arturo, mi pequeño cactus," Abuelita exclaims. Like I'm prickly sometimes, but have a chance of flowers. Abuelita's prickly but full of goodness. As far from gangbangers as Papi is. I wish I could be like her, getting people's names back for them. Or something important like that. So far, I'm just hanging out, being like some weird LA weather report, prickly with a chance of flowers.